Homey going to be releasing their own native voice control powered by AI in 2025? Well, in their most recent podcast, which was released about a month ago, and look, I've gone back and watched it so many times and I've been thinking about this for so long. I've been wondering, should I make a video about this or not? I just can't get it off my mind. So that's why I've turned on the camera and I want to talk about this, because if this happens, and I'm speculating, this will be huge. This will be amazing. Now, let me play a clip for you and you'll see what I mean.
We have another very big feature in the works, so a software-only feature that I'm not gonna tell you anything about yet because it's much more fun to keep it secret for now.
Not many people probably saw this because that video doesn't have a ton of views and this was buried very deep towards the end of that video clip. But I've gone back and listened to it time and time and time again, and I know we're speculating here, but I think what this most likely means, and you can tell me if you disagree with me, but I think Homey, they saw what Home Assistant did by introducing their own native voice control, or maybe they were already thinking about it. They were probably already thinking about it. But if I had to guess, if I had to bet, I would say Homey are gonna be releasing their own voice assistant in 2025, and I'm excited. If this happens, I expect that there'll be some kind of AI integration. What that looks like, who knows?
It's been a few days since I recorded the rest of this video that you're watching, but I wanted to drop something else into this video before I publish it because a couple of things happened. Firstly, Homey have published another podcast, so the one that I'm referencing is no longer the most recent podcast. I listened to every single word and I don't think I caught any mention of anything related to this new software-only project that they don't want to talk about yet, so no mention there. But I was just poking around on the Homey forums, and there's a lot of stuff there, by the way. But I was reading this forum thread about request for a web interface, and then it kind of like went off on a little tangent at one point. And this is back in October. User 3Dutchy says, among other things, hoping for a smart speech assistant. And then Peter replies, they just ditched that a few years back, mentioning Google. So apparently a few years ago, Homey on their website made this post talking about why they had to ditch the idea of a voice assistant. Now, this is a few years ago, right? And then in the Homey forum, October, Emil jumps straight in response to that and says, well, ... running an LLM locally is very interesting, ... Call me a conspiracy theorist, but as far as I'm concerned, this is a done deal. Like, let's go back and have a look at the reasons why they said they couldn't do this a few years ago. I don't know exactly when this was. Sounds like it was maybe about 4 years ago, approximately. And then the fact that Emil has jumped in immediately, this is in October, and said, well, ... I don't know. Tell me what you think here. Am I a conspiracy theorist? Am I reading too much into this? Or do you agree with me that this is probably the big software-only update that they're not talking about yet, but is coming sometime in 2025? What do you think? Do you think it is AI-powered voice assistant running an LLM locally to power AI voice assistant native to Homey? I think that's what it is.
And again, look, I understand we're speculating here, so I could be completely wrong. If you have a different theory about what this clip actually meant, I'm gonna play it again for you.
Another very big feature in the works, so a software-only feature that I'm not gonna tell you anything about yet because it's much more fun to keep it secret for now.
Let me know. I mean, what else could it be? I think, and I'm excited, that this is hopefully gonna be a native Homey voice assistant that not only works, I mean, I want it to be good, right? I mean, because currently I'm using Homey with the Amazon voice assistant and it's pretty good most of the time, but not always. And sometimes it's just flat out bad. And sometimes the Amazon voice assistant just seems to want to have a day off. So if Homey can introduce their own native voice assistant, that's something that I'm excited about. Also, this could be a bridge or a gateway to also bring in AI into the Homey ecosystem. I think we're seeing other smart home ecosystems also going down that path. Home Assistant, another example. I'm sure they'll be looking more and more at how to integrate AI in the future, just like everybody else. But this could be a way to potentially have a native Homey voice assistant where maybe you could bring your own OpenAI API key or name your LLM AI, or let's face it, modern day copyright thief model of choice. And yeah, away you go. And that could provide more situational context to your home. And the future is really, really exciting. This is something that I spoke about with a guest recently. And David mentioned that with AI coming into the smart home, this might mean that we don't have to tinker around with automations or flows if you're a Homey user like I am. And yeah, it starts to unlock a lot of possibilities for the future. I understand that we're speculating here, but let me know your thoughts. Also mentioned in that clip, they talk about another big thing that has been happening recently and is happening at the moment is dashboards. And speaking of dashboards, I want to call out a video that I watched on YouTube just a couple of days ago by Paul Hibbert, Hibbert Home Tech. If you haven't checked it out, I'll leave a link to it below because I found it very entertaining and very, very well done, as all his videos usually are. But this one I found to be particularly relevant because I am a Homey user, and I really, really like the part where Paul mentioned that he found it frustrating that you couldn't just open the Homey app and have your dashboard sitting right there looking at you. And as he said that, I was watching the video, I was shouting at the screen saying, yes, I agree, because that was driving me nuts. So it's good to hear that Homey are probably fairly soon going to be allowing us to have dashboards open immediately on the home screen. And that's pretty exciting as well, but not as exciting as a potential voice assistant coming directly to Homey. Let me know, am I crazy? What do you think? I mean, I personally put the chances of this happening at around like 60 to 70% based on this clip. That's it. I have no inside information. Nobody at Homey has told me anything. Nobody's told me not to talk about anything. I can speculate. We can speculate. So let me know what you think this means. And yeah, I guess we'll find out by the end of the year if I'm right about this.